Well, apparently I have to split this up in parts. I'm totally new to doing video on my own. So just to pick up where I left off, we were talking about Noah with respect to his legacy. What is it he wants to accomplish? What is it that he wants to do? Hand on the information to other people. And at this time, he's like, "So what do you do?" Kind of interested in my own story. And I told him, I have a very varied background, certainly not conventional by any means. Currently, I'm a guidance counselor. Okay. But before that, I was a facilities director. I was an editor. I wrote construction proposals for a general mechanical contractor in DC. I worked as a furniture maker, moonlight as a security guard. I do a lot of different things. It keeps me interested and motivated. I love building with my hands. It's so much fun. And the idea of building a handmade house is just great, right? I mean, kind of where I'm standing right now is the result of what I learned in the academy. So, it was kind of like, if I showed you some of the things I built before, it would be kind of an embarrassment. I did put together some notes, so I figure I cover everything. I kind of am long-winded, and I apologize if that bothers you. So anyways, we hung out. I let him know I was an editor, and that kind of intrigued him. And because I didn't realize it, he'd written a book. And I told him, "You should write a book." And he's like, "Well, I kind of did, but I don't want anyone to see it." And I figured, okay, I understand. I've read a lot of people's work, and, it's not an uncommon feeling. And that's okay. So, we part ways. We had a good time hanging out. And, later on, I would, sort of over the next year or something, I'd be like, "Hey, Noah," I'd ask him a question. And then he would send an email back to me. Just kind of explaining, giving me a sort of very thorough answer. And it was very cool that he took the time to really answer me and give me his best advice. I knew that it was like, I felt like I had struck gold. Many of the contractors in the contracting world out there are frankly jerks. In facilities, I worked with a lot of contractors. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are just got a chip on their shoulder. And I understand the business is brutal. It's hard. But they're not like this guy, right? Who is just like this nice old man sort of guy that you get the vibe. So what you see on the videos is absolutely what you get in person, and also as a mentor through the Handmade House Guild. He is definitely very genuine. He's disarmingly honest, and just great to ask questions to. He'll always give you an answer, and as much as he can. So top shelf guy, top shelf, creative products for him. And what else should I say here that I have written down? So I have nothing but nice things to say about Noah. Personally, I am blessed that I got to be able to meet him. I'm blessed that I was able to become his friend, sort of like through this building process and through this mentorship. And I know that is something that some of the other guild members could probably share with you. They feel that there's this connection, which is awesome. And there's a lot of building things going on. So he really is the real deal. If you're wondering if he's a slick showman, the answer is no. No, he's not. No, not any way but all possible. He's not a slick showman. He is who he says he is, and that's pretty cool. So a little bit about my context. Like I said, I've done a lot of different things. I have familiar with carpentry. I have a love for cabins and timber frames, and beautiful structures, really. And I had a lot of notions of what great design is. And when I started following the page, I was like, this is great design. Yeah, this is awesome, right? But there's always something missing. For me, I needed a systematic approach of, okay, this is all the things that you need to think about. And it wasn't until I joined the Handmade House Academy that I got to that point, that I finally found, like, I was able to put it all together and be like, okay, this is what's beautiful. This is what's good. This is what's worth doing. And before that, I was like many other DIYers out there. We're a stubborn lot, right? No one can tell us what to do because most of the time we can do it better than anyone else. And a lot of times that's true, or we definitely want that sort of immersion in the process, okay, of doing the work and ensuring that it's done to the highest possible standard. So like many DIYers, I was looking at Noah's pictures, the things that he would show, the comments that he would make, trying to learn as much as I could from them. And I learned a ton, but the courses fill in the gaps. They give you the things to think about, but more importantly, they teach you how to think and design like Noah would. Like Noah would. And that's like that is to me the highest aspect, the highest value that the courses offer, is to think the way Noah does. Especially if this is like our first house that we're building, our first cabin, first whatever. You need to have all the answers right now, because if you screw it up, you're probably not going back to fix it. I've lived that, and I still am dealing with a lot of my screw ups outside, but things are different now.